Here are the video solutions for NOCN Functional Skills Maths Level 1. This is Part A, which is the non-calculator section, and this is from their sample paper. So let's take a look at the first question. So we need to estimate an answer to 39.856 times by 7.421 by rounding them to whole numbers. So 39.856, we're going to call that 40, and 7.421, we'll call that 7 because this is nearer 7 than 8. Now 4 times by 7 is 28, so 40 times 7 is 280. Question number 2. So to find the mean, we need to work out the total. So the total is all of these numbers added together. So I'm just going to link a few together. So 4 plus 6 is 10, 29 plus 1 is 30, 3 plus 23, well that's just 26, so that is 40 plus 26, so the total comes to 66. Now to work out the mean, we're dividing the total by the number of values, and we can see that there are 6 values, so therefore the mean is going to be 66 divided by 6, so therefore the mean is 11. Question number 3, what is a quarter as a decimal and then as a percentage? Well, hopefully in the same way that you know that a half is 50%, hopefully you just know that a quarter is 25%, and therefore as a decimal 0.25. If you don't, then this question is going to be a bit of a problem. So what is a quarter as a percentage? Now remember that percent means out of 100. So I'm just wanting an equivalent fraction out of 100. So what have I done to the number on the bottom? I've multiplied it by 25 to take it to 100. So therefore I need to do the same on the top for an equivalent fraction. And once it's out of 100, you've got the percentage, which is 25%. And also, once you have it out of 100, you can write it as a decimal with 2 decimal places as well. Calculate 5% of 300. Well, 10% of 300 is 300 divided by 10, which is 30. So therefore, 5% of 300 is going to be half of that, because 5% is half of 10%. So that is £15. Okay, so we can see here that we've got a gap for May. So what we need to do first of all is write this in digits. Remember that for the word 1,000, we're going to replace the word 1,000 with a comma. So hopefully we can write 72. We can put in a comma for 1,000 and then just write 520. So the highest number, none of these are decimals, so we can see we've got 2 numbers that are 6 digits long and the rest are 5 digits long. So it's either January or March that is the biggest. We've got 13 versus 10. 13 is bigger than 10, so 135,700 is the biggest, followed by 109,600. So February, April and May, we've got an 8 versus a 5 versus a 7. So 8 is bigger than 7, and 7 is bigger than 5. Let me just scroll down a bit. 5252. There'll be 52525. There we go, and we are done. Okay, so for this question we just need to work out 3/10 of 1,050. So when we're working out a fraction of an amount, we take the total, we divide it by the number on the bottom, and we multiply by the number on the top. 1,050 divided by 10 is 105, and 105 multiplied by 3. 3 times is the same as 3 times by 100 plus 3 times by 5. 3 times 100 is 300, and 3 times 5 is 15. So therefore that comes to a total of £315. We're going to do exactly the same thing. What is 2/3 of 1,050? Again, that's going to be 1,050 divided by the number on the bottom, which is 3, multiplied by the number on the top, which is 2. The only slight problem is we need to potentially, probably need to do a bus stop in order to divide 1,050 by 3. 3's into 10 go 3 times with the remainder of 1, making sure I've put the 3 above the 0 there. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 0 divided by 3 is 0. So we now need to double this number, so 350, we can just say plus another 350. 300 plus 300 is 600, plus 50 plus 50, so that is 700. So far this person has spent the actually, let's take it down here. 315 plus 700, which is £1,015. What's the person? What does Sharon have remaining? Okay, so that's the difference, which is 1,050. Take away 1015. To be honest, rather than doing column subtraction, I just count up from 1,015 to 1,050. So if I take it up to 20, that is 5, and then 20 up to 50 is another 30, so that is a difference of £35. So she'll have £35 remaining. Okay, that is the end of part A. Here are the video solutions for NOCN Functional Skills Maths Level 1. This is part B, which is the calculator paper, and this is the sample paper. Okay, so Dave owns a shop. He buys 20 boxes of chocolate bars from a wholesaler to sell in his shop. Each box contains 20 bars. So how many bars is that in total in 20 boxes? Well, it's going to be 20 times by 20, which is 400 bars. Now, 47 are damaged, so therefore 400 minus 47 are not damaged, and that comes to 353. So what we know is that 353 out of 400 can be sold. So that is the exact fraction, but we just need to, it does say estimate, so we can just say that that is approximately the same as 350 out of 400, which we can simplify to 35 out of 40, just chop a 0 off the end. Basically we've just divided the top and the bottom by 10. We've got two multiples of 5 here, so now if we divide the top and the bottom by 5, we can simplify it again. So that is 7/8. So approximately 7/8 can be sold. Part B. Okay, so what we need to do here is just first of all draw a straight line from A to B, and then again from B to C. Let's do another line. B to D rather, sorry. So let's measure A to B. Sorry, here is B. Now A to B, that is a distance of 7.3 centimetres approximately. I think the mark scheme will allow plus or minus 2 millimetres here, but it is 7.3 centimetres, and B to D is 4.3 centimetres. Okay, let's have a look at the other. If we're going via C, A to C, and then going from C to D, then A to B, that is 5.6 centimetres, and C to D, that is 5.2 centimetres. So in terms of centimetres, if we go via B from A to D, then that's going to be 7.3 plus 4.3. 7.3 plus 4.3 is 11.6 centimetres. But if we go via C, that is going to be 5.6 plus 5.2, which is 10.8 centimetres. So we can see that it's quicker if we go via C, and we know that it's approximately 10.8 centimetres. Again, if you're a few millimetres out, then that's going to be okay, but not too much, obviously. So if 1 centimetre equals 5 kilometres, then 10.8 centimetres is going to be 5 lots of 10.8, and 5 times by 10.8 is 54. So that is going to be a distance of 54 kilometres. Okay, moving on to question number 9. So what makes this question slightly irritating is the fact that we've got a mixture of grams and kilos. So we need to remember that 1 kilo is 1,000 grams. So if we're converting from kilos into grams, we are multiplying by 1,000. And if we're going from grams to kilos, we are dividing by 1,000. Now, since we're giving an answer in kilograms, to me it makes sense to convert the gram measurements into kilos. So dividing these by 1,000, we get 0.57, 1.2 and 0.6. So 0.57 plus 1.2 plus 0.6 plus 1 kilo plus 0.43. If we add all of those together, we get a total of 3.8 kilos. There we go. So that is our final answer, 3.8. Okay, moving on to question 10. So we know that each delivery takes 20 minutes. So there's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there, and 20 minutes there. So that is going to be 3 lots of 20 minutes. So that is 60 minutes. In other words, 1 hour just for all the stops. Now, what I would do at this stage is add up the total distance. So add all of these values together to work out his total mileage. So 37 plus 53 plus 40 plus 20. That is a total distance of 150 miles. Now we know he's going at an average speed of 40 miles per hour, and we've even been given the formula that the time is the distance divided by the average speed. So the time taken is 150 divided by 40, and that is 3.75 hours. So if we add the 1 hour to it, then the total time, including the stops, is 4.75 hours. Now that is not 4 hours and 75 minutes, but 4 3/4 hours. So that is going to be 4 hours and 45 minutes. So if he leaves at 4 a.m, just add 4 hours onto that. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's going to be 13:45. Or if you want to put it into 12-hour clock format, then that is going to be 1:45 p.m. Okay, question number 11. So we know that it takes Aaron 40 minutes to run 5 miles. So 5 miles equals 40 minutes. And we want to work out how long it's going to take him to do 13 miles. Well, if it was 10 miles, that would be easy because it'd be double 5 miles, so therefore double the time presumably. So probably the best thing to do here is work out how long it would take 1 mile. So to go from 5 miles down to 1, we are dividing by 5, so we need to therefore divide 40 minutes by 5, so 1 mile will take 8 minutes. So if 1 mile takes 8 minutes, then 13 miles is going to be 13 times by 8 minutes. So therefore 13 miles will take 104 minutes. So 104 minutes is our answer, but it does also say give a reason why the estimate may be unreliable. Well, just because he can run 5 miles in 40 minutes doesn't mean he can sustain that pace for for any longer than that really. He might be going flat out for those 5 miles. His 40 minutes might be his personal best for a 5 mile run. So we can say, yeah, this assumes he can maintain his 5 mile pace for 13 miles, which may not be possible. There we go, all words to that effect. Okay. Okay, question number 12. So, fresh cuts is nice and easy, it's just £250. For green gardens, it's a price per square metre. So what we need to do is work out the area of this field. So by putting a horizontal line here and calling this shape A and shape B, we can work out the area of each bit separately and then add them together. So shape A, nice and easy, is 31 multiplied by 106, and 31 multiplied by 106 is 3286 square metres. Now the area of shape B is 60 multiplied by this distance here. Now we need to look at the other, so this is a horizontal distance, so we need to look at all the other horizontal distances. So if it's 106 from here to here, if I subtract 47 and 18, I've got this distance here. So 106 minus 47 minus 18 comes to 41. So this is 41 metres. So the calculation is 60 multiplied by 41, and 60 times 41 is 2,460 square metres. So therefore the total area is going to be 3286 plus the 2460, and that comes to 5746 square metres. So we know the price was 4 pence per square metre. So 5746 times by 4p, that comes to 22984 pence. So it probably makes much more sense to put this in terms of pounds and pence. So divide it by 100, that's £229.84. So what was the actual question? Was it which one is cheaper? Okay, actually probably should have done the workings down here. Which company is the cheaper option for the school? Okay, so we can see that the cheaper option is actually Green Gardens. It's 250 for fresh cuts, whereas it's only 229.84 for the other one. So Green Gardens is the answer. All those workings should have gone in the box there, but I thought it would be a lot simpler if I just kept it close to the diagram so wasn't scrolling up and down the whole time. Right, question number 13. The volume of the cuboid is simply the three dimensions multiplied together. So 9.58 multiplied by 4.53 multiplied by 3.76. Combine all of those together and we get 163.174224. But we want an answer to 2 decimal places, so therefore we're interested in the value of the 3rd decimal place. Anything after that is completely irrelevant. If this number is 5 or more, then the 7 will round up 1, but 4 is less than 5, so that will just simply round down to 163.17, and we should probably put in a unit which is cubic meters. Question number 14. So the balance to begin with is minus £375.20, and to that balance we are adding 1525.80. So you can literally type minus 375.2 plus 1525.8, but what we can do is just simply move all of this to the other side of the other amount, and it's exactly the same calculation as 1525.8 take away 375.2, and that comes to a total of 1150.60. So that's the final answer there. So nothing too terrible. Again, you can just stick it straight into the calculator and it should be sorted. Okay, so for this question what we need to do is simply plot this data here. Now what I'm expecting is, well, what I think makes sense is to do a bar chart. So shoe size will be along the bottom, and up the side we'll have number of orders. Now we just need to think about what our maximum value is. So it goes up to 159. So we just need to make sure that we go up to, well, at least 159 of course. So maybe 160, maybe 200. So let's just have a look at what we've got available here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's obviously easier when you can count it in front of you. Here I'm having to scroll up and down. That was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so if I've got 20, that means I can go as far as 200. So it's probably best if I just go up in 10. So 190, 180, 160, 140, 120, 100, 80, 60, 40, 20 and 0. And how many shoe sizes did we have? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm thinking, can I do like can I do 1 bar that thick? No. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be for shoe size. So first of all, let me note here, let's label the axes. So this is shoe size. So 4 is going to be across the bottom from there to there. 5 is going to start here and finish there. So all these need to be exactly the same width. 6, 7, 8, and shoe size 9. So notice that the widths of every bar, obviously I need to draw them to the correct height, but I've just started them off. So they're all 1 half square across, and there's also the similar gap between all these bars as well. Now 4 went up to 63. So 4 goes up to 60, 62, there's 64, so 63 is going to be halfway in between, so to there. So obviously if you're using a sharp pencil and definitely a ruler, this will be a bit neater and a bit more accurate. 5 went up to 82, so there's 80, there's my 82. So that one's, so any even value should be relatively easy to get right, as they will sit on a line, but the odd ones will have to sit in between lines. 6 was 135. Right, I'll just draw it up to 100. Again, this is the issue of doing it on a computer screen, and again you're going to use a pencil and ruler. So here is 130, so 135 will be halfway between 135 and 140. So there we go. 7, shoe size 7 was 114, so I'll just take it up to there for now. That's not a bad straight line. Okay, so let's finish it off. So 110, 12, 14 is up to here. There we go. Shoe size 8 was 92. So here's 90, so there is my 92. Again, that's pretty poor, but that can be sorted if you use a ruler. In fact, this whole bar is an absolute disgrace. And 9 is 159, so I'll just take it up to 100 for now, and then scroll up and finish it off. So 159 is just half a square below 160, so approximately there. Again, hard to be precise when I'm not using a pencil and ruler. There we go. And the only thing I've not done is I've not labelled the vertical axis, and that was number of orders. So just to kind of keep it neat, I'm not going to try writing sideways, so I'll just put number of orders. There we go, and we are done. Okay, so question number 16, probably the easiest way is to work out, well, what is 15% of 120? Well, 10% is 12, 5% is 6, so therefore 15% is 12 plus 6, which is 18, so it's 120, take away £18, which is 102. Of course, there's a quicker way using a calculator, and this is a calculator section, but from my experience, people seem to be reluctant to use a calculator because they don't have a good understanding of percentage multipliers. The calculation, if you're using a calculator, would be to do 0.15 multiplied by 120. That gives me the 18, and then subtract that from the 120. Or think of it this way, if it's 15% off, then you're only paying 85%. So work out 85% of 120, and 85% of 120 is £102. Question number 17. What is the probability that the arrow will land on the number 5? Well, how many sections are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of the 10, how many are 5s? Well, there's 1, 2. So the probability is 2 out of 10, but this fraction can be simplified. We know that because we've got an even number on the top and an even number on the bottom, so that will simplify to 1/5. So the probability is 1/5. Which number has the highest probability that the arrow will land on in the board game? Right, so the highest probability, well, that's going to be the number that appears the most. So we can see that 5 appears twice, 8 appears twice, 1 appears 3 times, and 2 only appears once, 3 appears once, and 7 appears once. So therefore so which number has the highest probability? Well, the answer is the number 1. Okay, draw a net of a cube. So I always remember that the net of a cube is 4 squares on top of each other, with 1 square on the left and 1 square on the right. The square on the left can be anywhere on the left, so can the one on the right. They don't need to be opposite each other either. So let's just go for it. So if it's 3 centimeters, then let's do a square, which is 3 by 3. Again, using a ruler would be preferable. So I'm going to do 4 of these on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I said, there are a couple other ways you can do a net of a cube, but for me the most straightforward is just do 4 squares in a line, and then do 1 on the left hand side and 1 on the right hand side. So I'll put 1 here, and just to be slightly different, I'll just put 1 down here. As I said, this square here can be 1 above, 1 below, or 2 below, and this one can be again on any position on the right hand side. As long as 1's on the left and 1's on the right, it's all fine. Okay, question number 19. This question is checking our understanding of BIDMAS. So we've got brackets, so let's do those first. 42 divided by 3 is 14. So we've got 29. Now what this means is 29 times by whatever this is. So 29 times 14 plus 16. So we need to do the multiplication first. So 29 multiplied by 14, that comes to 406. So it's 406 plus 16, and 406 plus 16 comes to 422. And that takes us to the end of part B.